Hey guys, what's up, and welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright's Turning Justice for All. In the last episode, we finished up the investigation for Reunion and Turnabout, or at least the first investigation, and now we are going to be going into a trial with Von Karma's successor. So, let's go. What? Prosecutor Von Karma? You mean... No, I heard it's his successor this time. Successor? Manfred Von Karma was a really sinister man. He pulled all sorts of nasty tricks, all so he could win. He was a man obsessed with the word perfection. He had a perfect record for 40 long years. Who knows what sorts of dirty tricks he used to get each of those guilty verdicts. And now his successor. I wonder what kind of person they will turn out to be. It's no good. Pearly! You showed up! Thanks for coming all this way. I was really worried about you. Hey, where's your mother? Didn't you two come together?
Mother is watching over the trainees. She said they have training for 2 days straight with no breaks.
Huh? Then you came all by yourself?
Yep, I snuck out of the manor and followed the map.
Don't tell me you walked all the way here.
Of course not. I ran.
I can't. Oh my. Oh dear. Yeah, no, I just realized that. God, how much time would it take to run all the way there? I wonder how she isn't dead yet, though. If it takes 2 hours by train. Oh man.
Pearly, what about the train? Huh? What's a train?
I give up. Same.
It's time, isn't it?
I'm really scared. What if Von Karma tries to do something to me? At least I know Mr. Edgeworth would be nicer to me than Von Karma.
Mr. Edgeworth? Who is that?
He's Nick's rival. Well, he's also a friend. I still remember him as though I'd seen him only yesterday. Every trial was a scorchingly fierce battle until the very end. It was always back and forth with them, but when you're rivals for life, Maya! Please don't mention that name ever again. Huh? But why, Nick? I'm sorry, Maya. Forgot you didn't know. He's gone. And he's not coming back. What? Wait a second! What's that supposed to mean? Let's go. Now's not the time to talk about that anyway. Nick? Oh. There she is. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Maya Fey. Are the prosecution and defense prepared? Hello. What is with this kid? She does not look like a kid. I know she's like 18 in this game, but still. Mr. Wright, are you prepared? Huh? Yes, Your Honor. Why does he seem so mad at me? Oh god. I'm gonna butcher this accent so bad because I did a poll on the PWA and it said that I should have an accent when doing her voice, and I'm gonna screw this accent up so bad. Mr. Phoenix, right? You must be a little shocked because I'm a woman, correct? Hold on. So she's the feigned successor to Prosecutor Von Karma? I am Francisco Von Karma, the prodigy. I see. I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge. Revenge? Is this about her father, Manfred Von Karma? If it's something of a personal nature, I'm sure you can... Ow! I'm talking. If you interrupt again, my whip will do the speeping... Speeping? Why is that so funny? Okay. Please speak with your mouth like a normal person and not with your whip. Ow! Make no mistake, I will defeat you. Prepare to go down, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Prosecutor Von Comma, your opening statement, please. Those of Von Comma blood have only one fate, and that is perfection. The defendant, Maya Fey, will find no escape from her guilt on my watch. Very well. What is the defense's position, Your Honor? Does the defense wish to enter a plea of not guilty? Yes. Foolish fool who foolishly dreams of foolish dreams. Yes. 10 minutes. I give the defense 10 minutes before it changes its plea. That's right. I'll have you running for the justified self-defense plea in no time. Justified self-defense? A plea usually reserved for when a person unintentionally kills in defense of themselves. We could very easily make a solid case that it was self-defense, but the defense stands by the plea of not guilty, Your Honor, because to plead justified self-defense is to say you did kill someone. How foolish. If that's how you want to play it, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then I shall now call the first witness. She's just as scary as her father. Like father, like daughter, I suppose. Witness, your name and occupation? Yes, sir. My name is Dick Gumshoe. I'm a detective at the local precinct. Ah! Get to the point already. Explain to the court the details of the murder. Yes, sir. If everyone would please look at this map. The channeling chamber has no windows and the door was locked shut. At the time of the murder, only the victim and the defendant were in the room. What were they doing in there? They were channeling a spirit, sir. Channeling a spirit? That's quite the look of disbelief there, Your Honor. Anyway, a few minutes after the channeling started, gunshots were heard coming from inside the room, sir. A few of the witnesses broke the door down and rushed into the room. Oh, and that's when they found that the victim was already dead, correct? I believe this is one of the most open and shut cases I've ever presided over. God, my back is super itchy. The shirt has never itched this much before, whatever. So how was the victim killed? I was about to get to that. Stop wasting my time, then. I'm sorry, guys. I'm butchering her accent so bad. The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir. The shot was fired from point-blank range. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing. So the victim was stabbed before being shot. This is the victim's autopsy report, sir. Well, you know what? Let's, actually check everything that I have right now. Then what about the second gunshot? Why was there two? That's the main question that I'm going to ask, but what do I do to, prove that there's some kind of contradiction? Because, he only ever explained, one gunshot, then why were there two? The murder weapon, Detective Gumshoe, whose pistol was it? It was the victim's. The victim? Now, why would he have... Why would he have a pistol? Who cares? The point is that you are missing whose fingerprints are on that pistol. If you're not already paying attention, then I suggest you start. Alright guys, I give up on the accent. I can't do this. I'm gonna just give her a normal American accent. I can't do this. German is not my thing. Even though I want to learn German. I really do. I really want to learn German, but it's... German accents are not my thing. Let's just go with an English one. Along with the victims, the defendant and my face were also on the grip, sir. So the defendant's fingerprints were left on the murder weapon. I walked right into her hands there. Point blank, huh? So how far away is that? It's anywhere between 12 to 20 inches away. And how do you know he was shot at point blank? Mr. Phoenix Wright, I grow tired of the foolish foolery of the foolish fools of this foolish country. Excuse me? Gunpowder burn. Gunpowder burn? When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Gunpowder exploding is what makes a bullet fire, and that gets real hot, pal. And there were definitely some gunpowder burns left on the victim's forehead. Well, I never knew that. Live and learn, I guess. Stab? And what was he stabbed with? A fruit knife. I see, and whose knife was it? Looks like it belongs to the face, sir. And of course my face fingerprints are all over it. All over it, huh? Oh, this does not look good. What will you do now, Mr. Phoenix Wright? How severe was the wound? If it had been half an inch more to the right, it would have hit the victim's heart. After a stab like that, it's impossible to fight back, let alone stand. This testimony makes it sound like Maya had stabbed him with the intent to kill. Are you sure he was stabbed first, then shot? Yep, sure as could be. One look at the wounds and you come to the same conclusion too, pal. A fool is a fool who will only listen to the foolish opinions of other foolish fools. A pistol shot to the forehead at point blank is certainly enough to kill instantly. Does it matter, then, which was first? Think a little more before you open that big mouth of yours, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What a pain. Oh, never mind, then. That's enough. We have clearly established how the victim was murdered. I brought the two murder weapons with me today. Very well, the court accepts them into evidence. Okay, no, there was nothing that we needed to present there. Never mind. The date and time of death was June 19th at 3:15 p.m. Eyewitnesses claim to have heard 2 gunshots at this time. And 2 murder weapons. Both with the... That was burp, I'm sorry. Both with the defendant's fingerprints on them, huh? This does seem like an open and shut case. Naturally. This is going from bad to worse. As if the summary just now wasn't oversimplifying things to the extreme. Your Honor, feel free to slam the little gavel of yours. After all, there is no room left for doubt, is there? That is quite true, Mr. Wright. Yes? Even in the face of all this, do you still wish to plead not guilty? It's the opinion of this court that if you do not adjust your plea, you stand to lose. See, just as I promised, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You would change your plea in less than 10 minutes. Actually, it's 13. Well, yeah, no, it was 10 minutes. What will you do, Mr. Wright? Will you change to justified self-defense? Because now would be the time to do so. This is your final chance. This is a huge decision. I better think this through all the way. If we plead justified self-defense, we will basically be confessing to murder. After the trial, Maya's life would be ruined, and she'd be labeled a murderer. I can't let that happen. Your Honor, have you finally reached a conclusion, Mr. Wright? The defense will not change its plea. We will accept nothing short of complete acquittal. You have sealed your fate, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Detective? Yes, sir? Present the final portion of your testimony, the final strike. Yes, sir. Now see here, proceedings are run by... Oh, yes, of course. Go ahead, detective, and give your testimony. I think the court would like to hear about this other piece of incriminating evidence. What other piece? Oh, new. Sorry, pal, but there's an even more incriminating piece of evidence. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. As you can see, it's covered in blood. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. What do you mean was not fighting back? There's a bullet hole in the sleeve. So this is the costume. There certainly is evidence of a back spray of blood on this. This piece directly links my fate to the crime, sir. I see. The court accepts this into evidence. Okay. Oh, okay. I want to try this, but I'm very scared too. Let's press it first, just because. He wasn't fighting back? How do you know if he wasn't? We can find no evidence that the victim put any sort of struggle, pal. So did the murderer have a fight with the victim or not? Depending on this, the circumstances around this murder have changed drastically. Ugh, we're in real trouble now. If only I had something to prove that the victim did fight back. That Von Karma. She thinks she can decide the verdict with his testimony alone. We'll all find a critical contradiction somehow, and then I'll have her. Okay. Oh, shoot. Okay, let's try that. Objection! No! Dang it! That's not right. Can I say that, but there was evidence that he was fighting back. It's either the clothes or the pistol. Because if the pistol has 2 gunshots on it, then like it's might be what it is. I don't know. There's blood on the costume. Lab results show that it was the victim's blood. So there's blood from the victim on the defendant's clothes. Definitely not good. So were there any other clues you could glean from this piece of evidence? Well... If you must change the topic, then the good detective here must testify again. But too bad, not enough time. Let's move on. Oh, yes, Miss Von Karma is perfectly correct. I have the judges on her side, but if I bite off more than I can chew here, what should I do? Why is Miss Von Karma suddenly putting up resistance? There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. There must be something about this costume. I just have to look harder. Mr. Wright, Miss Von Karma's logic is perfect. There's no way for you to poke a hole in it. Ugh, so my time is up. So about the costume. Your Honor, actually, there is something very wrong with this piece of evidence. What? What are you talking about, pal? Where is the problem you are talking about? I've come this far. There's no turning back now. The problem I have with this piece of evidence is here. That's what you were supposed to do. So, it's that little hole in there. How did that get there? That is a gunshot thing, I think. Can I actually... There you go. It's gotta be perfect. I asked the court to please take a look at the sleeve of this costume. The sleeve? There's a tiny hole here. A hole? But that wasn't in the report. Hold on. What's this around the hole? It smells faintly of gunpowder. Gunpowder? No one ever told me. A hole that smells of gunpowder. Looks like I found the hole I was looking for. Your Honor, the only logical conclusion that you can make is that it must be a bullet hole. Order, order, order! This is a very grave matter. It is best we correct the court record first before anything else. Sorry about that. I guess we messed up, sir. Is she actually smiling? What else is she hiding? Pull yourself together, detective. That tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with your testimony. That just now was a fluke. Nothing more. How can you say something like that? This is a huge oversight. Well, I agree it is a mistake on the part of the police. What Prosecutor Von Karma has said is true. The evidence still stands. If you do not find a more definitive problem with the evidence, then... No way! Detective Gumshoe, please continue with your testimony. Yes, sir. Okay. Alright, okay. Okay. Alright. I knew I had to present the clothes on that statement, but I was just kind of confused when it didn't happen the first time, and I was like, oh, okay, never mind then. That's what you were supposed to do. You were supposed to prove that the gunshot, that the hole was there first. Right. Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes? Having you call me by my full name is kind of a weird feeling. You said that my client killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Yeah, I did. Then what, may I ask, is this bullet hole you police overlooked supposed to mean? Huh? What does it mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Is this what it means to not fight back? Ah, you're right. It seems you're correct. If the victim had tried to shoot the defendant, then it would change everything. All right, the wind seems to be shifting. What is with that "are you finished yet" left? Are you finished yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Miss Von Karma? It seems that Maya Fey was shot at by the victim. However, that is only grounds enough to support a justified self-defense plea. That is correct. But I'm sure you remember, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said. They rejected justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty. Now that you... Why, that's right! Which means the defense has yet to prove anything at all. No! Well, yes, that's true. Furthermore, just the fact that there is a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate even a plea of justified self-defense. Oh, how so? Ah! Don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. With the new information we acquired added in, of course. Huh? You mean by myself? You want me to put together the scenario all by myself? Ah! Yes, sir, right away, sir. What is that supposed to mean? During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but they were too close. But because they were too close, he missed. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. The scenario you have put together does make sense. Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Wright? On the surface, it does seem to make sense. However, I won't give up that easily. But please refrain from glaring at me like that. Know that your cross-examination, please. Yeah, no, it seems pretty clear-cut and dry. I don't know. There is quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant. Add in body strength, and it seems unlikely that the defendant could have stabbed the victim. Now that you mention it, yeah, I guess. You think you can get away with such flimsy reasoning, Mr. Phoenix, right? Maya Fey was in the middle of channeling, was she not? When channeling with the Quran channeling technique, the medium physically changes. With the nurse's build, the defendant could have easily been a match for the doctor. I don't believe it. She even studied on the Quran channeling technique. Like I said before, I am perfect. About what you were talking about, I didn't quite get it. Well, never mind, let's continue with the testimony. He's supposed to be scared. So scared. So he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him. But if you think about the blood loss, he was probably hurt pretty bad. How badly hurt would you say he was? Actually, I went to give blood the other day. And afterward, I felt a little lightheaded and dizzy. I guess the damage was maybe about 10 times the dizziness. Sorry! While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Where in the world did that pistol come from? It looks like the victim, Dr. Gray, had specifically bought it for that day. But a handgun? He got it off the black market about 2 days before the murder. Why did Dr. Gray bring a gun? Was he taking precautions against something? So, you're saying that the bullet hole in this costume was made then? Sorry, pal, but yeah, that's what I think. The two of them were already fighting when the shot was fired. Maya, I'm really glad you weren't hurt. Maya has never fired a gun before in her life. The victim had already taken off the safety. With the safety off, even an amateur like you can fire just by pulling the trigger. Even me? I wonder. Now, do you understand? Avant Kama's logic is perfect. His testimony certainly makes us look very bad. But there's gotta be a contradiction in there somewhere, and uncovering it is going to uncover the truth. I can feel it. I can feel it. I'm sorry. I'm really feeling it. I can, like, choke. So did you guys watch E3 today? That was great. Or, well, I'm gonna upload this tomorrow, so technically, did you guys see it yesterday? I'm sorry. Yeah, but the what is it? Is it a new Xenoblade Chronicles? You know, it's probably, yeah, no, I think it's a new Xenoblade Chronicles. Yeah, the new Xenoblade Chronicles. I'm sorry, I can't really think. That's the thing, what is that? After looking at all the evidence, the only ones that actually catch my attention are the folding screen, the pistol, the knife, and the clothes. So I don't actually know what to do right about now. Oh dear. Did I? Oh my gosh, what? Okay. Well, let's go, my boys, let's go. What do you mean? This little hole has actually created a huge hole in your testimony. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. You said that the two of them were I was about to say fingering. Why was I about to say that? Oh god, okay. I'm sorry, I'm incredibly drunk. If that were true, then where is the gunpowder burn on this costume? Gunpowder burn? This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Oh! But there was not a single trace of gunpowder burn on this costume. That is a very good point. And what exactly does this mean? It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other. I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You think you can punch a hole in my logic with that? With wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone can explain anything away. Then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking. Let's see. In the middle of their fight, the victim pushed the defendant away. And it was then, when they were separated, that he fired. How was that? As if that was even possible. According to the testimony, the wound from the stabbing was very severe. The victim would not have had the strength to push the defendant very far after that. Well, then... That's right. The defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing him, she must have put some space between the doctor and herself. And then while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took his shot. There, that would satisfy even you. That does make an awful lot of sense. What do you think, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Mr. Wright? Okay. I must be careful. I can't afford to make a mistake here. Concentrate and think. It doesn't make sense? Does it? Doesn't make sense at all. Does that make sense? Let's see. I feel like the folding screen might have something to do with this. Because, like, where did the hole from the folding screen come from? If the victim were to, like, shoot from above, then why is there a hole, like, at the bottom of the folding screen? Like, the gun wasn't shot 3 times. There is a fatal flaw in her argument, Your Honor. Fatal flaw? Yo! Very interesting. I would love to see where this flaw is. Show me something that contradicts my explanation. There has to be a snag in her explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the final blow. And when she was about to strike, the doctor took his shot. There must be a piece of evidence that contradicts this line of thinking. This is the piece of evidence that destroys your logic. Yes. What is that, a folding screen? I would like to point out the court's attention to this hole in the folding screen. It looks like you already know what I'm talking about. Oh, where, what? Mr. White, your explanation, please. Are these two really that clueless? The bullet went through the defendant's sleeve first, then the folding screen. It passed through at a height of approximately 8 inches off the ground. Which means... when the shot was fired, the defendant, was not getting ready to strike, but was actually squatting low to the ground. Order! Order! This changes everything! Please look at this diagram of the crime scene. The victim, Dr. Gray, was here when he would fire the shot. And the bullet hit this folding screen. It hit at this location about inches off the ground. At this time, the defendant was in this area. Fuck. I don't know. I don't know. Well, it makes sense if she was like right next to it, or maybe like right in front of it or something like that. So like just directly in front, because she wouldn't be just like in front of the victim. If the shot went like, if Maya was over there, then when Gray shot, then the gun would just go like straight, and it would be like in the middle of the folding screen, which is there. So she's either got to be here, or she's like got to be like right next to the folding screen, which that is what I'm going to do. Fuck. That's not good. Oh no. No, 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 that's not good. That is not good. Okay, let's not. Behind her. What? Was she closer to the victim? Like, what is going on? I don't understand this. Oh, geez. Okay, it's like, oh god, it's 37 minutes long. I think I'm gonna have to stop here for right now. So, I guess that is it for this episode. If you guys enjoyed it, please remember to maybe leave a like, maybe leave a comment, or maybe even subscribe. I'm sorry for this rush ending, but I'll see you next time!